I started working with Zach because I was not exactly sure on what it is that I actually want to do regarding my offer as a coach. I tried a lot of different things. I tried stress coaching, I tried fitness coaching. I did not really get the results I wanted from my business, and it always felt very exhausting, and I felt a lot of uncertainty, self-doubt, and I was procrastinating a lot on my business.
My goals when I started working with Zach was I wanted to launch my high-ticket coaching business and make my first 10K months, which is something that I had never done before as a coach. So in order to do that, I knew there were certain things that I would have to change about myself, like my identity, certain habits that I had which were not conducive to success. And after starting working with Zach, I can honestly say that the changes started coming within just a matter of weeks. I believe it was the third week working with Zach, I signed up 3 clients in that week and essentially hit my first 10K just within a few weeks of working with Zach.
I kind of realized that about 3 or 4 months into the process, that mindset was going to just be a extremely important part of this journey, not just for business, but for like my life, my experience of life, you know. What I really did not want was like to be successful in business, make a lot of money, but to like not enjoy my day to day, to like not be happy, to be like dreading my work, or to feel, I don't know, all sorts of possible negative emotions that people associate with work. I wanted to have the best of both worlds, like have business success, but also enjoy the whole process of that. So that's one thing that I really wanted, and that, you know, made me resonate with you and want to work with you.
I always had the feeling that I had so much potential inside, and I felt that I was just living in a prison. That I was just like, I wanted to do so much. I wanted to be free, but I felt like I didn't have the mindfulness, or I didn't have the tools to do it yet. But yeah, the main reason why I joined is just because I think I just want to follow my highest excitement and my passion. I want to be in connection with my higher mind, let's say, more like with the divine will, this trust and this safety.
Even though I'm not a huge fan of this word, I was constantly being triggered. I was getting very quickly frustrated with something. I was reacting very strongly. One of the things that I was frustrated with is that I'm in heaven, but it feels like hell. What is going on here? And so my relationship, among other things, was really suffering.
I started out this process because I, as an individual, experienced extreme bouts of depression, and there were cyclic bouts of depression. So it was recurring, maybe for a while, it was every other week. I would just want to spend all of my time in bed, wouldn't be able to get myself up in the morning. I'd feel like there was no way out for me.
Basically, when I started working with Zach, you know, it was a really low point of my life. I went through a really tough breakup, and my business was going well, but it was not what I wanted it to be, you know. And I was always feeling, even though, you know, I was making more money than ever before, and more money than I could ever have imagined, you know, years ago, I was still in this constant state of depression, anxiety, and I just didn't want to be present. You know, I was smoking a lot of weed, and every time I tried to get off of weed, I'd start smoking cigarettes. So it was just a real mess, you know. And this was going on for months.
In terms of my personal relationships, I became a much more loving person. And also in my work, just posting content and interacting with my students and colleagues from a place of love rather than a place of fear and anxiety, which is where I was operating from previously. Also, mental tranquility and mental quiet is something that had escaped me prior to working with Zach. In fact, I had to smoke weed every night in order to just relax and get to sleep, which is a pattern that I had in my life for over a decade prior to working with Zach. That's no longer the case. I haven't smoked weed now for over 2 months. I have other habits to relax, like exercising, meditation. My mind just feels a lot more quiet. And so my habits have transformed to an extent where being productive, being a leader of men is much more possible to me now Whereas before, when I was dependent on some of these vices and basically in the grips of some of these fears and anxieties. In terms of posting content, this is now something that's coming a lot easier to me. In fact, my latest YouTube video just crossed over 10,000 views. And just generally, I feel like I'm now the person that I need to be in order to continue along the path to achievement of my ultimate goals.
After a couple of weeks of working with Zach, I actually found my purpose, found what it is that I actually want to do, what I want to offer, and I have such clarity in that right now, and I'm just blessed, and I love what I do right now. Not only that, also I got 2 paid clients within 2 weeks after that realization. So business has been going a lot better ever since I started working with Zach. My experience has changed in so many different ways, not only business but also regarding my private life, my social life, and it's been an absolute blessing to be part of the Self-Mastery Accelerator, to be part of this program. Also being in touch with so many great other people. I'm thankful for everyone who's in the Self-Mastery Accelerator group. It's an awesome community. Working with Zach has changed my life on so many different levels that I am just beyond grateful for what he has been doing within the group, what he's been providing for me. I am so clear, and life seems to be so effortless and filled with joy, and there seems to be nothing that I can't overcome, so to say. No challenge that can't be overcome, no obstacles, and no goals that can't be reached. And I feel truly unstoppable right now because I know at every moment of the day what I have to do, and just this clarity that Zach provided is very, very valuable to me. I don't even know if I can communicate what I have gotten out of the program and out of the work with Zach together, if I can communicate that clearly here in this video, because there's been so much and so impactful on so many different levels, as I said.
Was that I was much more peacefully and calmly receiving the things that were going on, and not perceiving my life so much as a victim, but as actively playing a role in it, actively creating the life that I wanted to. By clearing up, by improving, by raising the energy that I was holding and putting out generally, magical things would happen. Big clients would reach out to me out of the blue and sign no questions asked. Or my relationship with my family improved, or my romantic relationship would improve. My health would improve. I found, or they found me, people, events, and circumstances just seemed to kind of happen and coincide with what I was doing without necessarily requiring much or any effort. I just had to be present, grateful, and aware, and they just happened. And that was pretty magical in ways that I can't even begin to explain or comprehend.
Got from working with Zach is probably the most important thing that I ever, learned, and that I ever could have learned, and this was letting go, going through these emotions and experiencing these emotions and not resisting them, kind of going through them, why they are here, not analyzing them, but letting them out, and not stuffing them down, not trying to get out of it by smoking weed, but just feeling those emotions and just being present to them. This may sound like it's not a big deal or whatever, but it has completely changed my life. And Zach has given me these tools that will help me for the rest of my life.
I set a goal that I would hit consistent 10K months by the end of this year, so 2022. And I did that in my first month. And then I changed my goal to be like, maybe let's do 20K, by the end of the year. And then I hit that in the 3rd month of the year. Then I'm just like slapping myself, being like, how is this real? Like, I even video called you, like, to be like, this is insane. Like, I don't understand how these things are happening. And it really makes no sense, right? Because it doesn't make logical sense, because we're operating on a quantum level. Things are happening like in a way that's not linear, that isn't explainable. It just literally just feels like miracles. And it's not even like I literally worked less and less every month, and I spent more time doing other things with friends, gym, like reintegrating my life, even moving out of my house, and somehow my money has gone up.
Stop struggling with depression on a regular basis. I wake up, I get out of bed, I I don't struggle with wanting to hit snooze anymore. I don't struggle with wanting to sleep my life away as I might have in the past. I just have a vigor for life, a really enthusiasm for what I'm doing. The amount of progress that I've seen has just been really insane. I've gotten a ton of opportunities that I never had before, speaking engagements. I've been asked to speak at certain conferences that I've never done a speaking engagement before, but these are things that come up when you become aligned with your vision, your passion. It's kind of esoteric, but things really do start to work out when you're in line with your purpose. And I've seen that firsthand in my life. I've also had sales calls with bigger companies than I've ever had before. People respecting me as a business and saying, hey, we respect your skill set. Come in and help us with these things. And, you know, I think a lot of that has to do with the ability to see opportunities and not be afraid to actually go for them, and not be afraid of, well, what could happen? You know, because one thing that I've heard people say is that the only thing that's scarier than failure is actually success, because success is unknown. You don't know what's going to happen when you close that deal that's bigger than any other deal that you've closed. You don't know what's going to happen. Working with Zach has allowed me to recognize those limiting beliefs and those doubts and say, I'm not going to allow this. I'm going to remove these thought patterns and I'm going to go forward regardless.
But I remember the first time after session, I immediately felt so free and at ease. There was like tension gone from my body. And I remember that I was just dancing around in the room, dancing in the shower, just singing. I felt so free. It was so cool that I'm just willing to talk to people now. I'm just willing to do that. I'm just allowing myself to do it. In the past, I wouldn't allow myself to do it.
And whatever I paid Zach, I can't begin to comprehend how much actually I've gotten from it and how much more I will get from it during the course of my life, you know. And I'm very grateful, and I can't express how grateful I am to Zach. Yeah, if you're thinking of working with Zach, I definitely recommend doing so. It will change your life. It has been an amazing experience for me. And thank you, Zach.
Working with Zach is a very unique experience. It's one of the first times in my life where I really didn't understand what the coach was doing, which was okay because I trusted in the process. And the reason I was able to trust and let go was because the changes started coming so rapidly. And there were certain things that happened throughout my time working with Zach, which just indicated to me that what he was doing was without a doubt working. So if you're considering working with Zach, what I would say is that working with him is the best way to become the person that you need to be in order to achieve your goals. So I highly recommend Zach's service.
Everyone who is thinking about working with Zach or just having that on their minds, I can honestly say for me personally, it was the single best decision I have ever made regarding an investment. So if you think about it, just go ahead and do it. That's all I can say. Zach has been the best coach I've worked with, and I can't even express enough gratitude towards him.
I just want to say I feel great, to be honest, and I'm really grateful for this experience, and that I'm really grateful for the months we had. It's been such a cool journey.
I mean, if there's anybody who's considering working with Zach, I would highly recommend it. No matter the price, no matter the time investment, no matter the energy, open your mind and honestly just take a moment to meet Zach. You'll be blown away, and if you aren't, just say you aren't yet, because you certainly will be. Honestly, it has been a fantastic experience through and through, and I don't even know what for, but I look forward to working with Zach again. Just every single moment is sublime and superb. I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Zach.
This was a great experience for me. If you're considering starting with Self-Mastery Accelerator, join in. This is a great community. It's an awesome process. You'll start to understand more about the unconscious mind and how to bring yourself into a more conscious way of life, a more intentional way of life. And that allows you to be more successful. It allows you to get more things done in your day. It allows you to be more impactful, more specific with what you want and how to get what you want. So great community, great teachings. Love to have you.